You don't want to work in the back? Nope. You don't want to work on the car? Nope. Why? I'd rather die? Look at it like this. If I work on everybody else's stuff, I'm not going to want to work on mine. Alright. You think you can push and not fall on there? I think it's up behind it. That thing is stuck on there, and I don't know why. It just like seized up around that piece. I put grease on it. When are you buying one of these? Stop. Push away. I'll have to do a wheel run. Alright. I strapped a GoPro on because this camera died. I'm about to put another battery in it. I don't know where this camera cut off when we were putting this in. It's in now. I'm going to make a few notes with this camera while I go around and show you that. I still have some more work to do for the night, and then I'll be done for tonight. And then basically after that we just need to wire up stuff and bolt exhaust on, and yeah, we'll be good. But before I even do exhaust and drive shaft, we are going to test the motor out, so there's that. So let me put this battery over here. But yeah, I have it strapped to my chest because I'm going to go under the car in a second to show you guys me putting the cross member on, I guess. Because why not? Because I forgot to record me putting the headers on the motor, and I didn't finish another video I was doing. It was basically me installing speakers and everything and the audio system in here, so I decided I'll just go ahead and show you guys me putting that on. But anyway, so motor's in. She's in all the way. That I'll take off in a second. But yeah, so we're gonna put the motor mounts on and the cross member. And I need to put that harness in here so it doesn't get wet, because everything's wet right now, but it's not actually raining still. So, all right, so we're back on the Canon. Sorry about that battery dying and you missing the other stuff. So I don't know if I recorded this part or not. When we put the motor in, we got it set. I forgot to put the starter wire, I guess you could say. It's going to connect to this ground, which it's going to ground your transmission out for the starter to connect to and all that good stuff, giving ground to your transmission. Anyway, forgot to plug that wire in. It's going to go into a bolt on your transmission and engine, and as you're putting it in, you need to connect that, or you probably won't be able to turn your starter over and a few other components, if anything else. But I know for a fact your starter probably won't work if you don't do that. Won't get all the amperage it needs. So we pulled it back out, not all the way, just a little bit, so we can sandwich in there. I put that ground back on it. It's good to go. Dropped in. We're good. So everything looks good. Everything looks okay. So now we're gonna get under the car and do the transmission cross member, and we're also going to do the motor mounts, and that's why I'm wearing the GoPro. Alright, so we're on the GoPro now, and I still have the Canon rolling right over there. I'm sure you saw it anyway, it's a wide angle. So we're going to go ahead and lower this all the way down, and that's done. Side note, you will rub up on your car, on the bumper, when you're doing this with the engine hoist, so be mindful of that. Put covers. I'm not worried because I'm changing my bumper to a KBD, because y'all wish y'all had KBD, and so do I, but I'll have it eventually. Alright, so it's wide angle. I'm sure you're going to see this. So you see this ground cable right here. It's probably not in focus that well, but you see it hanging. I know you do. So when you're putting this cross member on, there's the 3 bolts, and there's the other side. Oh my god, there's a praying mantis down here with me. Look at it. But anyway, we'll get them out here. When you're putting this cross member on, you have to put this ground in between one of these bolts on the right when you're bolting these back in, so that this part of the transmission is grounded too. I think it's some type of sensor right here. It's either my reverse, my speed sensor, or my neutral. Is there a neutral safety in this? I'm not sure, but it's one of those. I'm not even sure if there's a neutral. No, there's not a neutral safety. It's a manual transmission. It's clutch safety switch. So I'm gonna go get, because right here you see these two studs hanging out of the transmission. There's two, I'll show you right here. There's two nuts that go in between these two holes in the cross member that hold that to the transmission, and then that bolts to the chassis. So once we do that, and here's that wire I was talking about that you have to ground to the transmission right here. If you don't do that, it's probably not going to start. Your starter's probably not going to crank over, so make sure you do that. This is where my my slave cylinder will bolt into the transmission. And yeah, so hopefully you should be able to see a lot of that with this GoPro. It's wide angle. There's the headers. Oh crap, that exhaust manifold bolt might not be able to go in because that freaking sensor's in the way. I'll probably loosen that sensor up again. It don't matter to me. But this one's definitely gonna be easier. That's money. That's way better. Alright. Let's get out of here real quick, get these nuts. As you can see, cross member's bolting in, that grounds in. Like I said, you have to have that ground in with that cross member bolt. It doesn't really matter which one, just get it in there and that'll hold it. So what it was is the transmission was in the right spot and everything. The cross member goes on one way. So the last time I put a motor in this, I got lucky and just happened to put it in the right way. It has to go in this way. I had it flipped around. I had that side on this side. And the way you could tell is make sure that little plastic clip is on this side with the ground on your transmission, which should be the same for the Fairlady and the American model. So it will always be on the passenger side, or in Japan, the driver side. In America, this is the passenger side where this ground wire is on your transmission. In Japan, this is the driver side, okay? Just so I can make that clear. So now I'm going to connect the rest of this A-arm, and then I'm going to be done for the night. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm not going to record that part, so we're going to leave off here. Appreciate you guys watching this. Hopefully the next video is it starting, because I have the starter and everything hooked up as well. So we're going to start it, make sure she ain't knocking from, which is actually hard to tell when the exhaust is straight out of the headers like that. I did it last time to see if it was knocking on the second motor, and I couldn't really hear if it was knocking because it was so loud. So now with these different headers, I bet it's even going to be louder, but I'll still try to see if I can hear any knocking. And what I'm really actually looking for, besides only the knocking, is oil pressure. If I have oil pressure, I'm a happy boy. Let me get these fuel lines, get that out of there. If I have oil pressure, the proper amount, not like -5, like I owe it oil pressure while it's on. No, like I'm talking 30 to 32 idle, and about 60, 68, 65, whatever, when I'm revving it up. So that's what it should be, around those numbers. Not 0, and then when I'm revving it all the way at our red line, it's finally getting 5 pounds of oil pressure, 5 psi. So I'm gonna wrap it up now so I can get inside, wash up, go to sleep. Gotta go to work tomorrow and do a little stuff on the motor. But this is basically secure. I'll still do motor mounts, but thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we'll hear this thing run. Seriously, hopefully. And hopefully it continues to run and be fine for a long time.